Hi everyone, it's Darla from crafty.yarn.owl. Welcome. So for today's tutorial, I'm going to be using this yarn from Loops and Threads, which is a Michaels brand. It's called Facets. It's a medium weight 400% acrylic. Hook size I recommend is a 6mm, and that is what I used. The color is Lapis, which is a gemstone. And it's in the colors of blue, so this is very, very appropriate. Okay, so in this ball is 100 grams, 3.5 ounces, 256 meters, 279 yards. This is what I had left of this third ball. So I used 2 complete balls, and then just not very much out of this one at all. You can use whatever yarn you like, whatever size, whatever fiber you like. You do not have to use a 4-weight. I think this Shrug would look so dainty and delicate in a 1 or 2 weight, even a 3-weight. Yeah, use your creativity. Okay, so we'll also need scissors and a darning needle and some stitch markers. And I have this book here, because I use this to make the tassels, and I show you in the video. I wrap the yarn around the book and cut it, and I'll show you that in the video. All right, thank you so much, and I hope you like this tutorial. Now let me show you how I measured myself to make this. All I did, and this is all you need to do, is take the end of your yarn. Okay. Hold your yarn out like that with your elbows bent, and that's how I measured. You just make your chain that long. That's how I measured, and that's how I got the sleeves, you know, that long. Of course everybody's body is different, right? But this is how I did it, and I do have a little bit of a cuff, makes it a sleeve tiny bit longer, but yeah, that's how I did it. Just like this. That was my measurement. All right, let's do this. Now this design is a 1-row repeat, so we're going to be repeating row 3. And it's make your chain in multiples of 4. For my piece I chained 120. It's about medium to large size. So let's get started. Let's make our chain in multiples of 4. And this is a really easy stitch, although it looks a little complicated, I think, but it's so easy. Okay, make your chain in multiples of 4. Okay, row 1, we're going to make a single crochet in every chain. So skip that first chain there, go in the next one, and every one after, a single crochet. Okay, I've got my single crochets made. You will have one less single crochet than you had chains. Okay, so my chain was 120, so I ended up with 119 single crochets. Okay, I'm just starting off with a sample, that's why it's so short. All right, so chain one, and then turn your work around. Right in that very first stitch, we're going to put a double crochet. Okay, I'm going to use a stitch marker here to mark that first double crochet because it's a little bit tricky when you come back around to find it. All right, so now what we're going to do, and this is row 2. In the next stitch, we're going to put 4 double crochets right into that next stitch. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. We're going to skip 3 of the single crochets from the previous row. 1, 2, 3. Go into the next one with 4 double crochets. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. This is what we're going to be repeating for this row. We're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Skip 3. 1, 2, 3. Go in the 4th one with 4 double crochets. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Skip 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. Go in the 4th one with 4 double crochets. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, at the end of your row, you should have 5 stitches left. All right, so chain that 3. 1, 2, 3. Skip 3. 1, 2, 3. Go in your second last stitch with 4 double crochets. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now you have that last stitch left. We're just going to go straight in there with 1 double crochet. Okay, there we go. That's what it looks like. Okay, now we're going to chain 1. We chain 1 at every end. So chain 1, turn your work. In that very first stitch, we're going to make a double crochet. Now I'm going to mark that spot there where that double crochet is. It's right here. All right, now we have these 4 double crochets together. We're going to do, it's kind of like a back post double crochet. You go to the 4th double crochet, pull it apart from the others, turn your work, and there it is. Grab it. You're going to put 4 double crochets around that post. Okay. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then here we chain 2. 1, 2. Okay, then we go to the next 4 double crochets. Grab that last one. Turn your work. Grab it with your 2 fingers around that post, and then put 4 double crochets around that post. It's 2, 3, 4, and then chain 2. This is row 3, which is our repeat row. Okay, so you go to the next 4, grab that last double crochet there, turn it over, grab that post with your thumb and your finger, and make 4 double crochets around that post. 1, 2, 3, 4, chain 2. Go to your next 4 double crochets, pull that last double crochet away from the others, turn your work, pull up that post, and then put 4 double crochets around it. That's 3, 4, chain 2. Sorry about that stitch marker making noise. Okay, now we have our 4 double crochets here, and then there's another one on the end. So grab that 4th double crochet, skip these 3, grab that 4th double crochet, go around to the back, pull that post up, and make 4 double crochets in around that post. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you don't chain 2 when you're at the end of your work. All you do is make a double crochet right into that double crochet on the end. You can take the stitch marker out now. We're going to need it right away in another spot. Okay, then so that's our repeat row, the row 3 that we just did. Chain 1, turn your work, go right in that first stitch with 1 double crochet. Okay, now I'm going to mark that double crochet with my stitch marker. All right, so we're up to the 4 double crochets that we made around that post from the previous row. So we're going to go to the 4th one, 4th double crochet, pull it apart, turn your work sideways, don't turn it like all the way around. And then we're going to go right into it with 4 double crochets, or go right around that post, I should say, with 4 double crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then chain 2. Okay, so this is the 4th row, and we're just repeating that 3rd row. Here's your next 4 double crochets. Grab that last one, pull it apart from the others, tip your work. I guess I should say tip your work. And then put 4 double crochets around that post. So this is 3, and then 4, and then chain 2. Okay, straighten your work out so you're at the front of it now. Grab that 4th double crochet, pinch it at the back, the post of it, and then put 4 double crochets around that post. 1, 2, 3, 4, chain 2. Okay, flip your work back to the front, grab that last double crochet of the 4, flip your work over, or flip that part over, and then make 4 double crochets around that post. I think it's a pretty easy stitch, and it's so beautiful. It just makes this 3D effect, and I think it's, you know, kind of different, and it's so easy and fun. I think it's fun to make. Okay, so we have those 4 double crochets, and then we're going to chain 2. Okay, turn your work back like this. Go in that 4th double crochet, make your 4 double crochets around the post. Oops. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we're at the end. When you get to your end and you have that 1 double crochet left, don't chain 2, just go right into that double crochet with a double crochet. Okay, you can remove your stitch marker. All right, so this is how it's working up. You can see through it, and you can see some stitches through it there. Yeah, I think it's quite interesting. All right, so chain 1, turn your work, put a double crochet in that very first stitch. So all we're doing is repeating row 3 over and over again. Put your stitch marker in that first double crochet. And then grab that last double crochet of those 4. Flip it over, grab the post from that one, and just go right in there and make 4 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is where we chain 2, and then we go to the next one and do that again. 4 double crochets around that 4th double crochet. So that's 1, 2, 3, yarn's bunching up, 4, and then chain 2. Okay, I'll meet you at the end of this row. Now I've made those last 4 double crochets around that post from the last double crochet from the previous row. And now we're going to make a double crochet, just go straight into that double crochet at the end and make your double crochet. See how that twists? So that's why I mark it, because then it's easier to find. You're not looking, oh, is this it? Is this it? Yeah. So it's right here. Okay, there it is. So this is how it looks. I think it's really neat. And the back of it. All right, so you just continue on repeating row 3. And it starts off with a single crochet. I'm sorry, a chain 1. A chain 1. Take out the stitch marker. Every row is a chain 1 at the beginning. Turn your work around, do a double crochet in that very first stitch. Mark your double crochet with a stitch marker so you find it easily. Then you just go directly into that 4th double crochet. You go around it, pull it apart, turn your work till you can see it at the back, and then put 4 double crochets around it. And then chain 2. And you just go to the next one, do the same thing. 4 double crochets around it. Chain 2. Go to the next one, 4 double crochets around it. Chain 2, and so on. So this is how it is. All right, I have made 33 rows. That's counting that first single crochet at the beginning of our project. And now I'm going to do the last row. Now, it's a little different than what we've been doing all along, but just a tiny bit of a change. So I've chained the 1 like before. So we're going to turn our work. And then we're going to put that double crochet right in that first stitch, just like we did before. Okay, 1 double crochet. And then we're going to make the 4 double crochets around that fourth double crochet there in the back, around the post on the back. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Now right here you would chain 2, but for the final row that ends your garment, you're just going to chain 1. And then you're going to go right over to that fourth double crochet, get the post on your finger, and then like before, and just make your 4 double crochets in there. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then chain 1. That's the only change for this pattern. The very last row, you just chain 1 in between your 4 double crochets instead of chaining 2. Okay, we did 2 double crochets, 3, 4 double crochets, then chain 1, and then go to your next double crochet and make 4 double crochets around it, chain 1, and I'll meet you at the end of this row. Now I've made 33 rows, and that is from here to there, and this is the height of it. It goes from the back of your neck down to wherever you want it to hit on your back. So I made 33 rows, and this measures 14 inches from top to bottom, or 35.5 centimeters. Okay, and then from side to side, mine measures 30 inches wide, and that's what goes around your arms. We're going to make armholes in a minute, and across your back. So 30 inches wide, which is 76 centimeters. All right, now this is very, very stretchy fabric. This, let's see, I don't know if I can, okay, let's see. It's very, 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 very stretchy both ways. I can't really show this properly. I need a camera person besides myself. All right, so it is very stretchy. So this is going to fit around me, but I'm going to show you now what you need to do. You need to pin it and try it on. I'm going to have the right side facing inward, so I'm going to take this and just fold it right up to that side, make it even across there, all the way across, and then I'm gonna pin. See, I know that's gonna fit my arm. It's gonna be wide enough. So I'm gonna use safety pins here and just pin it closed on the corners, and then I'm gonna try it on. All right, so I've pinned those corners, and I'm going to put this on so that the right side is facing out. I want my chain, starting chain, to be at the top there. So put my arms through, throw this over my back. Okay, so now I want to just grab where I want, how long I want the sleeve to be. We don't want it falling off our shoulders, so we need it fairly close to our underarm there. And I'm just going to take another safety pin and I'm going to mark it. Whoops. Just going to pin it together, both pieces here. Try not to show my face because I haven't showered yet. Actually, my hair more than anything. Okay, so I'm going to put that pin right there, but when I go to sew this closed, I am going to sew it a little bit further, closer to my body. Okay, I don't really need to pin that one right now because I'm just gonna go by one measurement. So, and then we're gonna do something around the neck and the bottom of the back. So that's what it's gonna look like, sort of, before it's almost done here. All right. So yeah, go ahead and do that. All right, now where I've pinned it under my arm here, I want to remove those pins and put stitch markers because now I know I have enough rows for sure. And I'm just gonna, for the lengths that I want. And then I'm just gonna to mark each side here roughly. And then we're going to do one final row. The one final row is a tad different than the others. Okay, we don't want this connected anymore. All right. So I'm going to show you, where are we at? The very final, the final row. Okay, before we sew our sleeves shut, I'm going to just go back to the starting chain, and I'm just going to make a row of single crochets along it just to tidy it up a bit. I'm going to go right across this row with single crochets in every stitch all the way along. All right, I'll see you at the end of this row. Okay, I have that single crochet row completed. This is the front side of our work. I'm going to leave the tail on there. Actually, I'm just going to chain one, and I'm going to leave a really long tail because we're going to fold. Okay, so the front side. We're going to fold our piece over, and we're going to sew the sleeves closed. Like this will be under your arm. All right. So when you tried it on, you put those stitch markers or whatever you had. I had pins at the time. And I'm going to just line up my stitch markers with one another. And then I'm going to sew along here, so I'll be back to sew with you. All right, I pinned my underarm. I had it pinned at 7 of these shell, I guess we could call it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then I decided to go with 8. So I'm on the 8th shell, both sides counted the same amount. So now I'm just going to thread my tail and just sew that together. So this is the inside that's facing us. Okay, so I'm going to start at the very end, of course, and sew up this side to close off that underarm. So we have company right here. This is little Minnie. She decided to join us when I was straightening out the project to show you the next part of it. I put it right on top of her, and she didn't even care. She didn't move. So yeah, I'm just going to sew right along here. Make sure I get a couple of those 2 loops on either side, and just sew right along. Or whatever you do, if you want to crochet along there, you know, whatever you do. All right, I'll meet you when I get to the end of this this edge I'm sewing. Okay, I've put my last stitch in here. So I'm just going to go over that again, make a knot. And then sew in the end. And then go do the other side. And when you've done both sides, I'll see you back here. Alright, so that's my seam on the good side. Alright, so now we're going to make a little trim around the sleeves. So make sure your shrug is the right side out. And I just did, I did 4 rows of single crochets around here, and I did some decreases because I wanted the sleeve to pull in a little bit around my arm. Depending on, how wide your sleeve is, you may not have to do the decreases. All right, so let me show you how I did that on this other sleeve. So we're going to connect our yarn with a slip knot. Okay, I'm starting anywhere. You can start anywhere. And you're going to put two single crochets at the end of each row. All right. So I like to go actually through the stitches here. I'll show you that. Let's see. Okay, this one here. I'll start up here. So I have a total of 63 single crochets on my other sleeve, and so I want to make sure that I do the same amount. All right, so chain 1, go back in that stitch with a single crochet, go in the next one, single crochet, and so we're at the end of a row. Put 2 single crochets. I like to go right through that chain there. Okay. And then put 2, 1, 2. So do 2 at the end of every row. Okay, and I'll see you at the end of this row. Sorry, it was 53, not 63. Okay, so now we're going to slip stitch into that first single crochet. Chain 1. Now what I did was, because my sleeve was pretty big, I am going to do 2 single crochets together around the whole thing. Okay, so right where we slip stitch, go right in there, pull your yarn through, go in your next stitch, grab your yarn, pull it through. You have 3 on your hook, pull through all 3. Now you may not have to do this, it depends on how big your sleeve is. Yeah, I just want mine to pull tighter around my arm. So 2 single crochets together all the way around. Okay, I'm going to meet you at the end of this row. Now I've finished the decreases, so I'm just going to slip stitch into that first single crochet we did. If I can find it, I have a knot there. Okay. And then all I'm going to do for the next 2 rows is make single crochets. 2 rows of single crochets. Oh, I think I might have went in the wrong one. That's okay, it's no big deal. Okay, single crochet in every single crochet for 2 rows. Okay. All right, so here's the little border band on our sleeve. So I'm just going to chain 1 there, cut the yarn, sew it in later. And right now we're going to go into our next step. Let's make some tassels. All right, so what I've done is I've tried my Shrug on and I marked, like this part's going to be kind of under my arm when my arm is laying straight down. So I marked over, let's see, 4 of these stitches here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just on the other side of that, I marked where I want my tassel to go on both sides so that the tassels are just hanging down my back and not under my arms. And so I've made a couple here. I'm going to show you how I made those, and we need to trim afterwards. But I'm going to make a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I'm just putting them in between here in that chain space. Okay, the way I make my tassels is I take a book. It's just a notebook. Let me pull this up. It's a fairly thick one. Whatever you have around the house you can use. I like to use a book because, and I'll show you in a second. So let's just make a tassel. All right, so I'm going to hold it near this end. Something like that. I'm going to go around 10 times. Okay, all the way around. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, that cut my yarn off. And then because I use a book, it's got this, it's lower than the cover, so I can get my scissors under there and just cut down the middle like that. So then take the tassel, and what you need to do is, okay, this is the front side. You need to attach it on the back side. Okay, go to the back of your work. Oops. Okay, go to the back of your work. Take your tassel, fold it roughly in half. Okay, hold it like that. And then we're going to go to the next space. Push it through. Grab it like this. And then just pull your tassel through that ring you just made there. Pull it tight. Now the reason you do it on the back of your work is because when the front is facing, it's going to look like this. Your tassel's going to have this yarn going across there. So it just looks nice, right? That's the back. We put it in the back of your project so that when you wear your outfit the right way, and that's what it looks like. All right, so I will do another one. Okay, take your yarn and your book or whatever you may have. You can make these much thicker if you like. I just did 10, which means we have 20 strands hanging there. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, you can use different yarn if you like. You know, different size yarn, different color yarn. Doesn't have to match, like doesn't have to be the exact same yarn you used in your project. Yeah, you can do whatever you want. Okay, fold it over like that. So you have a loop here. Stick your loop through that next chain. Grab it, stick your finger through, and then stick the yarn through that ring you made. And that's all there is to it until we just trim, and I'll be back for that. All right. Okay, I have all my tassels laid out. Now I'm just gonna give them a trim here as best I can. I need to stand up, so I'm gonna be standing up to do this. It's good to have a good pair of scissors. Actually, these are pretty good. They cut good. You know, you just got to kind of hold the tassels. So yeah, that's what you're going to do. Just cut along, even them out as best you can. They don't have to be perfect. And they won't be. All right. And there they are, all trimmed up. Take these stitch markers out. And that's it. We're done. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you make this, I would love to see a picture in my Facebook group. We all love to see what everyone's working on. If you have a yarn haul, be sure to post it in there too. Anything yarny, knit, crochet. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Please subscribe if you'd like more tutorials and yarny goodness. All right, I appreciate that so much. And please share out to your social media. It really helps us YouTubers out. Do that with all the channels that you watch. That's so appreciated. Thank you so much. Have a good day.